What's up? Um, I'm back from college. That's why I haven't made a recap in like 2 days. Uh, yeah. Thursday was pretty decent actually. I passed the account, but Friday I lost a funded. So sad. He was ready for a payout too, but whatever. You live and you learn. But yeah, these are some really good like opportunistic days. Like these big swings, 100 point, not even like 200 point, 200 point, 150, boom, 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 and we just so good. Anyway, we open on Thursday. We have an initial dump, and then chop, chop, chop. Obviously, you could look for the longs here, but they were invalidated. They were not very high probability, to be honest. But we did come in here to tap this 1 minute fair value gap to the tick, consequent encouragement. And something about my entry model with a high time frame thing, you can, with like intraday trading, you could also use 1 minute PD arrays, but make sure like they're really precise and stuff, and it like respects it really well. Yeah, so yeah, so we dump, and we have this important inverse fair value gap. The reason why it's important is because we have this low inside the fair value gap. We also have this high. I'm creating a BPR inside this fair value gap, and this liquidity reacting off of this order block. There's a very, very high probability inverse fair value gap, and we come down. Obviously, we don't anticipate it until we inverse it, but we come down, we sweep this 1 minute liquidity inside a rejection block, and this whole thing is like the 15-minute rejection block. That's why the note says 15-minute rejection block. Breakaway gap, we expect price not to come even touch this breakaway gap, and we might be able to see if it reacts the next day. Let me see. Yeah, no, we didn't really get that big of a reaction out of it, but anyways, I was trying to formulate something with breakaway gaps, but I guess not. Anyways, yeah, we come up, we have this 15-minute fair value gap, and we respect it after we sweep this liquidity inside a rejection block, and then the consequent encouragement of this 1 minute leftovers. So yeah, we come down. I would target 50% of this range if I was gonna trade it, which is 100 points, which is pretty good. And we end up bouncing off this RPG. Remember why I said this is an important inverse fair value gap. We don't actually get our completing zones entry model until here. From there, we have just a good reaction, and then we sweep this liquidity, which is OTE, and I believe it's also yeah, 5 minute BPR that we just retrace from. The big retracement. These are big retracements, keep in mind. 100 point retracements. Yeah, anyways. Yeah. And then we sweep this liquidity, and then this is a 50-minute rejection block open. So we can also take a long off of this. And then once this, as you can see in 12:14, 12:15, we come down here, tap the CISD, 15-minute CISD, immediate reaction, and we hit TP, which is my final draw on liquidity for the day. And to be honest, this was my final draw on liquidity, but I didn't really take note of any of these trades. Okay, not bad. And then as you can see, this immediate reaction level gives a reaction here, which is interesting. I might try to find an entry model to formulate off of that, but yeah. Next day open. Where are we? Yeah, okay. 9:30. We sweep pre-market lows. Order block encroachment liquidity inside order block. We can take these longs up to this medium term high, and we really, in my opinion, we really don't get a valid point of just shorting until here. So we get a 15-minute EFVG. I mean, we can look. Let's see. We can look. I mean, after this, we should have only retraced into here at the least, or here, but we went all the way and swept these highs, which is really difficult to predict. But yeah, the only real valid from our entry model would be here, but we can look at order block continuations as well. So you guys all know what an order block is. So not a good example. Okay, this is not bad. We have this order block here in the upper portion that we come up and we tap into constant encroachment of. That's decent. We have, with our RZ model, we can use 1 minute continuations and 1 minute inverses. Or I prefer 1 minute like immediate reactions, like for example like this, where you have a fair value gap and you immediately retrace and you reject from, showing like signs of like heaviness, and then just have your 1 second entry my 1 second entry model, stop at the high, just targeting whatever you think. And to be fair, yeah, this is I'm very sure. Okay, the low end of this order block gave a decent retracement. 50-point retracement. I would take that probably, most likely, because we have sweeping this, sweeping external. That's pretty good. But other than that, yeah, these are some other short opportunities you can take. But that one short opportunity that I was looking at with high time frame continuation, high time frame like confluence, is this 15-minute for value gap. I would have got stopped out here, but it dug into it more. You can look as to why. Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, this was difficult to trade. I mean, they have the CIC with immediate reaction. I probably would have tried to trade that if I missed it on top. Yeah, other than that, you know, again, continuation here. But yeah, for the retracement period, we had what we did is, I am pretty sure, yeah, we just swept these lows over here. That's what caused the retracement. But yeah, pretty bearish day, and then we just had delivery higher. I mean, this was a huge drop, 500 points. You know, you don't get that every day. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you later.